Hi guys, I'm going to be showing you how to fit this FIAMMA F45s awning onto this Vamoose awning rail. The bracket kit comes with 3 separate components. You have your main plate that sits up in the top into the top of the gutter. This piece then comes in, bolts onto the top there and sandwiches itself into the guttering itself. And then we have our awning plate, which then bolts into these slots and can be adjusted by height, which is where your FIAMMA F45 will then clip into the top there and hang in and secure for these fixings holes in the bottom. So the FIAMMA F45s short wheelbase awning, this was for a short wheelbase van. This is a 2.6 metre awning. For a long wheelbase transporter you'll need a 3 metre awning. You'll see on the reverse of the wind out awning, it has these stickers that say support. Now these are not where you put your brackets. These are where there are supports inside the wind out awning itself. So we're going to put our brackets about here and the same distance away from that end. So what I've done is I've measured from the end. I've came in about 50 centimetres. I put a little bit of masking tape in on the underside, not on the reverse, so that when I'm putting the awning on, I can locate it to where I want it on the van. And then likewise, I've put a little bit of masking tape on the van where I want the first one to start. The measurement in between, because I've came 50 in from each end, is going to be 1.6 metres. So once I've got this bracket on, I can then measure 1.6 metres back, put my other bracket there, and that way we won't have any surprises. So the first job is going to be to fit the front bracket. We always start at the front and then work our way backwards. We'll take our first 2 sections. This bit here will sit over the top. It will sandwich the rail in there quite nicely, and then we've got our nuts that will sit on the top and clamp that together. Now there's 2 holes at the back here. What we're going to do is we're going to mark those with our pencil, and then we will remove the bracket, put in our pilot holes, then we'll drill, or we'll work our way up our drills to a 9mm drill, and then we'll put in some riv nuts, which will then accommodate our fixings to hold the bracket in place. So these are riv nuts. They are a little threaded insert. They've got a thread already on the inside. What we'll do is we'll just pop it in the hole. As we tighten these up, we crank this handle, and this will shrink much like a roll plug does in a wall and pinch itself onto the underskin of the van. And then when we unscrew this out of the threaded insert, we'll be left with a fixed captivated nut on the inside, something that we can fit our bolt onto. So we'll be left with 2 of these, so we can then just bolt our brackets into place. So we're now going to drop a little bit of sealant onto the threads, so that when we fit our M6 Allen cap bolts and washers into place, they're going to be watertight and secure. So we've just fitted the first bracket, now we're onto the rear bracket. So I've measured back 160 from where that is. It doesn't need to be 160, that's just the measurement we like to take. You can have your brackets slightly wider, slightly narrower if you wanted, as long as they're not covering the support stickers. When they arrive in the packaging, they come with these little rubber bits over the top. It's just to protect the paint finish. So if you separate the 2 components, you then just pull these off and it exposes the threads. They just put them on to stop the paint going in the thread work. Like before, mark up the holes. So at the back of the awning, there's a little profile, and our bracket has a hook at the top, which is just going to slide straight into this top piece here. That will take the whole weight of the awning, and then the bottom of it will sit on the shelf at the bottom of the bracket here. Now that will self-support like that, enough that we can use the 2 pre-drilled holes on each bracket. We can drill these out into the aluminium casing of the awning, Then we can wind the awning out, we can fit our bolts and nut them from inside. And that'll be it fitted.